it for quite a while, and now is the time for me to stand on my chair and shout, Carpe Diem! Who am I? I'm Kate. I was born in 82. I grew up in England. I really like cats. I love reading. I have a major crush on Ryan Tedder's musical talent. I like pizza. I'm new at this video thing. I really like talking about relationships. I've never been kissed. I've never broken a bone. I really like myself. I really love Jesus. I'm really passionate about talking about relationships, and I really want us to learn how to do relationships well. What was that? What makes me qualified to talk about relationships? Well, I'm alive, I am human, and I have a lifetime of knowledge about relationships. I'm also a reader, I'm a learner, and I've asked a lot of questions from many people, but also from God. I am not a relationships guru. I do not know everything. I don't really talk a lot about sex because I kind of think you have to have experience to talk about that. There are 3 reasons why I want to talk about relationships. The first one is that I think that we are wholly uneducated when it comes to relationships. The reality is we're born and straight away we are involved in relationships. The second reason I want to talk about relationships is because on a weekly basis I get people coming to me and asking me questions about how to do relationships well. Questions about how they deal with their heart and their emotions, when they should talk to someone about whether they like them or not, and how they relate with people of the opposite sex, how they deal with their sexuality in a way that is keeping them sane. And you know what? I think God has a lot to say about this. I think we should increase our conversation about relationships because we're hungry to learn, we're hungry to grow. And the third reason, which I kind of just mentioned, is that God has so much to say about relationships. And his purpose about relationships and for relationships is that they would be amazing and strong and give us life, not frustrating and difficult and broken.
In the message it says, don't look for shortcuts to God. The market is flooded with surefire, easygoing formulas for a successful life that can be practiced in your spare time. Don't fall for that stuff, even though crowds of people do. The way to life to God is vigorous and requires total attention.
I want to challenge you to think about relationships. Have a think about all of your relationships, not just your romantic ones. Are you taking shortcuts? Or are you willing to give those relationships the attention they need, even though it might be hard? The goal of these videos is to start discussion, not to give you all my answers because they're mine. However, I think it's worth talking about some of the principles of relationships, from attraction to sexuality, to understanding conflict and conflict management, conflict resolution, and so much more. And I want to share a little bit about my journey and where I've come from and what I've learned along the way, be real and honest with some of my struggles and challenges, but at the same time, I would love to hear from you. And I really want to encourage discussion and processing around this area. Let's be amazing at relationships. Something else that I want to do is to give you a bit of an insight into the people who have influenced me and what I believe and what I've come to understand about relationships, from people who've written books, DVDs and teaching series, seminars that I've been to, as well as really important and pivotal people in my own life who have impacted me and taught me about relationships. I'll give you an idea of their books and the resources that I think are helpful and that I've learned from, and as well as quotes and blog posts and ideas that are circulating. I just want to encourage the chat about relationships. Let's talk about relationships. It's gonna be awesome! Let's talk about relationships, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things